my friends, I'm Diane the b.a.blessingstitcher, and you have landed on my channel, which is about primarily cross stitch. Welcome to everybody that's brand new, and to anybody that's been here before and has continued to follow me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know it has been a little while since I've been here, and there's lots and lots of reasons why, but I'm not going to bore you with all those details because I have a fair amount to show you. So I think I'm just going to try to jump right in and try to keep this under an hour if I can. I usually can talk pretty fast, so let's see how that works for me. I'm going to start with my previous finishes for spring. I don't have a ton, but I do have a few that I got done last year. This one is the Rabbit and the Rose. And I did a stitch along with this one with Nicole Spohr, and her local LNS was selling the fabric and the trim and everything that went with it, and they have closed since then, but I did get most of my finishing stuff from them. I did stitch this with Whisper on the tail. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it could totally be done with just regular floss. I didn't find it to be that much fun to work with, but it was okay. So anyway, that was the Rabbit and the Rose. Love this one. I kind of weighted him so that he would sit up straight for me. This is also another one that I did with Nicole Spohr. This one is called Life Needs More Chocolate Bunnies. And this one I had made to go on a display that I had. I put magnets on the back of it so I could hang it, and this year I decided to change my decor up a little bit, so I've just got this one on an easel this year. But I wanted to display it because it was a lot of work and it was fun. I used sulky thread on this one for the first time, and I'm trying to remember who did this pattern. I feel like it's Hands-On Design, but I could be wrong. And I did put little buttons in here in place of stitching a tail. So there is Life Needs More Chocolate Bunnies. And then I had done last year a couple of little Primrose Cottage stitches, the Carrot Patch, Hop, and the Bunnies Love Carrots. And I finished them similar, and they go just in tucked into one of my little mini displays around my house. So really happy with those. I did put some fabric I'd gotten from Fat Quarter Shop on the back. This one I did sideways by accident. And I went, it's good enough. Not gonna redo that. So anyway, those two. And then that's kind of it really for my previous finishes. So I think I'll jump into my current finishes. I think I showed last time that I had finished a couple of my sheep virtues. I had done Love and Hope, and I actually finished those off into pillows. Took me a little while to find a green fabric that I really felt was a similar color to the greens that I had chosen, and I did find it. I'm still debating about whether or not I'm going to put some ruching ribbon or something around the outside edge or some cording, but for now this is how they're sitting, and I'm enjoying them. I really am enjoying them. And another finish that I just got done, actually put it into a frame this morning, and it has a straight border, and you guys, I struggled with getting that straight. It's still not perfect, but I'm gonna sit it far enough away from me that I don't see it so carefully, because otherwise it'll drive me crazy every time I look at it. But this is one of the Nashville Market releases, and it was called Joy, and this was by Shakespeare's Peddler. And I started this one twice. I had actually gotten a whole row done in the white and then in the pink, and was kind of going along the bottom, and I realized I had started the pink in the wrong spot up top here, and I was stitching it on flax, which is just a tiny bit lighter than what I've got here, which this is raw. It's 40 count raw, and the white wasn't popping very good, so I decided just to scrap that whole project and just to start over on raw, and it does show up much better. The whites show up much better on the raw. And this is done with DMC. I know that there was a specialty pack with it, but I wanted everybody to see what it would look like in DMC, and I think it's beautiful. I really love it. And if any of you know me for any length of time, you know that joy is my go-to word. It's the one I cling to on the good and the bad days. And so I couldn't resist this one when I saw it. I'll show you more of my haul later. I wasn't gonna buy anything, you guys. I don't know, shaking my head sadly. Anyway, okay, so there's Joy and my frame. I just found that yesterday at, we have like a local antique market here in town. It's just a small one, but I got it for $1. It didn't have any glass in it, which I didn't want anyway, and it was only $1. So super excited to get a find like that. And then another one that I got finished, you guys saw that I did my April Year of Celebration, Seasons 2, I think it's called. And I got my April done. And I finished him off today too and mounted him. And this is what I keep it in. This is from, I'll think of it, Paisley and Polka Dots. And I just put a magnet in the back and a magnet behind the bow. And that way I can change those out from season to season. So next on my list is definitely going to be trying to get, I don't have May, June, or July done. I have August. I have a lot of these left to do. But I'm working on them. I'm trying to get them done. So I'll be really excited when I have them all finished and then I can just swap them out. Right now I usually go 2 or 3 months on one picture. But anyway, this is my April and it's so cute. And this pattern is by Hands On Design. And what I'm going to do, I think, is try to pop in pictures of the charts or the patterns. I don't always have them all available. This is what Joy looks like. I did print it because I purchased a PDF. One side note about this pattern, if you look closely, you can see like the insides of, try not to shake, the insides of the white emblems, like the little motifs, they're all filled in. But on my PDF, they weren't. So when I was just about done with it, I took a look at the actual picture and I went, oh, there's a bit more stitching that I want to do here. So I did go back and I just copied what was on the picture and I plugged that in. It's not hard to do. These were Smyrna crosses in the middle of the, and that wasn't charted and there was no note in there about doing them. But like I said, pretty easy to figure out. You can really see it pretty good from the picture. So that was that one. And then my very last one I've been working on, and I misspoke on Instagram. I posted that I've been doing this since 2022. I started this last year, 2024, with my friend Beth, the Red Cross Stitcher, and she beat me. And I guess I must be a little bit competitive because I couldn't handle that. So I had to go to town on it. This is Winter Rose Manor. And I got it done! And I got it framed, and it is hanging up in my bedroom. And I can't tell you how much I love it. So I did put my initials up here, and it called for another initial here, and I just really didn't know what to do. But I have this book. It's called the Ultimate Sampler Motif Source Book. And it's got just all kinds of little things in it. So I pulled a key. I thought a house and a key, that kind of goes together. So I pulled a key out and I put a key in there instead. Otherwise, I think this is all stitched with the called fors. I don't think I changed anything on it. Even the house was done in conch. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you what the fabric is. I've had more people ask me, and I can tell you it's got a grayish brown background, but I don't know what it's called. And it is 40 count. And I see puckers. Ooh, I don't like puckers. Oh, I'm my own worst critic, right? I'll have to see if I can work that out. This frame came from Welcome Stitchery. I was able to go down there a couple of weekends ago and stitch. She always has a free stitch that you can go to. And she happened to time it around the same time as, oh, here's the pattern, by the way. Winter Rose Manor. It's been out for quite a while. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. so you can sit and stitch, but she timed it so that all of her market releases were there. And so that was so fun because I did not pre-order a single thing. I was gonna be so good, you guys. I was gonna be so good. And then I started watching Flosstube and I caved in a big way. Anyway, I'm not gonna belabor that point. I'll talk to you guys about it more later. I think I'm going to reset a minute and try to get my next section ready, which is my whips, the things that I've been working on. Okay, I think I'm a little organized. We'll try it. We're gonna start first with the one that gave me the most grief. I started Evening in the Park, Chatlelaine, because I was watching Teresa the Little Stitcher, and she did one that was so stunning. It looks like this. And then I went on almost a year-long search trying to find fabric that was similar to the colors she had used. Couldn't find it. Went to a retreat in Wyoming called Crazy Woman Retreat. And there was a gal there, I think it was Live and Dye LA, and she had the fabric that I wanted. And I decided I was gonna haul that out a couple weeks ago and work on it because Teresa did a really in-depth video on just this Chatlelaine, because this took her like 7 years. Does that make me nervous? But I was looking at hers and I'm like, I thought I had the center section done. And I looked at mine and I'm like, it doesn't look the same. And so I started looking at my pattern and I'm like, I didn't miss anything. And then when I went back and listened to a little bit more of her video, and she said she ended up having to use both the hard copy pattern printed and a PDF. And so I went back and I didn't want to. I had to spend a bunch more money to get a PDF, but I did buy the PDF and that made all the difference in the world. And then I was able to add a bunch of the center items. I'm not very far, and so it seems silly for me to show this to you, but look at the detail and the sparkle. I don't have any beads in there yet. That's just all Krynic and Petite Treasure braid and that kind of thing, and lots of back stitching with that as well that I didn't even realize was in there, but whew, it adds a lot of sparkle. So it's going to be so pretty when I'm all done. And I don't know that the fabric really had a name, but it was just on one of the tables that she had. I'm doing this on a 32 count because there's quite a few beads and things like that in this particular chart. I don't usually stitch with 32, but it's also done with a ton of silks. It's going to be so beautiful, and it is really a joy to stitch on because I get to stitch with all the silks. It's got Karen Water Lily and S&C and Gloriana's, and I don't think there's any dinky dyes in it, but kind of my first adventure with them. And I'm a little bit hooked. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're just gorgeous, and they're just a joy to work with. So here's my bag full of all my threads and all the stuff that needs to go with it. So that one I anticipate is gonna be a journey. That one's gonna take me a while, and that's okay. You know, somebody may have to finish it if I die before I get it done, and that's okay with me too, because I enjoy stitching and I enjoy the process. And I am a product stitcher, but I'm also a process stitcher. I love the serenity, the calmness, the peace that I get when I sit down to stitch. It just kind of calms my spirit. Like if I've been at work all day, you can kind of end up in a little bit of a tense state, and then I get home and it's got a quick rush, feed my dog, take her for a walk, and then get my supper. When I sit down after that, it's just like, oh, I get to stitch, and it just really soothes me and just calms me. So I am both a product and a process stitcher. So my next one is one I started with my friends Jeannie and Leanne from Loose Thread Stitchers. Jeannie's kind of the one that got the ball rolling on it. And I'm also doing it with a friend, Mary Beth, who's kind of in our Saturday night chat group. And we're all doing a different Hawkrun Hollow. I think Jeannie is doing the farms and Leanne is doing autumn. And Mary Beth and I both chose to do Christmas. But I'm not doing the entire Christmas. So this is Christmas at Hawkrun Hollow. see if I can get a picture without. And I've decided not to do the bottom 3. I really just wanted the song. And then my friend Mary Beth did some research on the actual song and found out a lot more about when it was written, why it was written, and it's just a really cool story. And so we're going to include some kind of a little, she might even stitch hers into it, some kind of a little bit about Henry, I think it's Henry Wadsworth Longfellow that wrote it. And she might stitch something into hers that talks about his journey and where he was at. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'm definitely going to do a card on the back of it that talks about it, because I think it's so cool. This one I haven't worked on now for a few weeks, but oh man, I got so addicted that I just kind of hit the ground running with it when I first got going. So I did the first 3 and loved it. I did change just a couple colors. I didn't like the really bright green that was called for in the peacock, so I ended up doing kind of a darker blue in there. And I changed the color of this house because it looked a little bit pinkish, and I like pink, but I didn't like it for some reason in this one. And then I kept going, and I got this block done and this one done, and now I'm on the skating rink one, I call it. So it's been so fun, and I'm going to pull this one out again today. It was supposed to initially be our Saturday stitch, and I worked on it a lot more than just Saturdays, must say. True confession time. But I've enjoyed it more than I ever expected to. I've really enjoyed it. This one I'm stitching on fabric, 40 count. That's my go-to fabric. It's called Vintage Wood Smoke by Lakeside Linen. I don't think it's even available anymore. I talked to the attic about it. They do get Lakeside Linens in once in a while. And she said she hasn't seen that one in over a year. So I'm not sure if that one will ever come back out again or if that one's just done. But I love it. I wish I could get more of it because it's a really unique, it's instead of being more gray in the grayish color, it's more brown in the grayish color. And I love the brown in there. Okay, my next one is a little tiny start, because I've started over and started over and started over. This is Anniversaries of the Heart, and I have a blanket here. My fabric goes on and on because I'm not willing to cut it yet. I started house 1, and I wanted it to be, what do I want to call it? Plummy, purpley, pinky kind of colors. And I kept gravitating toward more the plum colors, but found myself very limited in that color family really fast. And I found something that, and if you don't know what Anniversaries of the Heart is, it's like 10 patterns, I think, that you buy individually and you customize them to your family. So you end up adding people's initials or family names and different things like that to each square that you add. It's going to be, maybe I can find a picture of one that's completed and throw it up into here. It's really cool. I know that Jessica, Saltwater Stitcher, Sweetwater Stitcher. Oh man, that's pretty bad. And Carrie, Tiger Lily is also, they're doing a stitch along, I think, with it. I just started it with my friend Mary Beth. We had decided after the first of the year we were going to start it. I wasn't really in the right headspace to start it because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it, and I'm still kind of sitting in that same place. But I decided to start it, and then I really stalled out because I don't like the colors, so I've pulled these colors out multiple times. And I think they're coming out again. And I saw Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim, do it just like, she chose like 6 blocks or 5 blocks, and she did hers in all different variations of pink, and I loved that. So I think I might try to go back and pick my colors according to what she did. She did, of course, not do the very first one. So I've got no guide there for the very first one. So anyway, I really liked what she did. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do in the future on that one. Then my next one is The Hometown Sale by Teresa Kogut. And she, see if I have a picture of it here. She releases part of the pattern every month. It's been a 2-year-long sale to her Tier 4 Patreons. We're going to be finished, I think, by November of this year. When I say we, I don't mean me. Although I've been stitching on it, I'm behind. But it's really quite a cool. Let me see if I can get to the actual picture of it. Come on, fella. Here we go. This is what she has released so far. And this one I am definitely customizing to my childhood. I'm putting names of stores in there that I grew up with, not necessarily in one specific community, but places that were fun and important to me when I was growing up and even now. It's just different places that mean a lot to me. So I haven't really added a lot of the words and stuff yet to them, but this is where I'm at on this one. And this one is being stitched on up in the attic, 36 count. So this was the top. This was where I started. I got the big barn done. And actually what happened was I got to this apple orchard. It's got a big apple at the top of the house here, and then it says cider. And I don't really have any place like that in my childhood. So I stalled out on that one, not quite knowing what to do. And I haven't picked it up again now for a while. But I am, so I'll show you on the picture where that is. So that is in between all these trees. Oh, come back here. So it's this building right here is where I stalled out. So you can see I have quite a bit more I could go ahead and do. And I may jump past that one while I think on it. I may just leave that one for a little bit and get going on some of the other ones. But that one has proven to be just a super fun stitch too. It's just easy. I mean, you do a house and then you stop. And then you do another house or a building, or you do a batch of trees, or it's just been fun. I really enjoyed doing that one too. And then this one was my birthday start last year. Beth the Red Cross Stitcher and I started it together. And I have loved this one since the first moment I saw it. And I wanted to do it in honor of my hubby. And I'll put something down here, either his initials. I might just put his initials in the bottom. But I love the colors of it. I loved the border on that one. I thought it was just stunning. And I worked on this one for a while. And this is how far I've gotten on this one. Let's see if I can roll it up a little. There we go. So I'm a little past halfway. I thought I was farther than halfway, but then I started looking at it and I'm really only just slightly past halfway, but it's just beautiful. I really can't wait to see it finished. It does have a solid border all the way down encasing it, just a single stitch border. I'm undecided whether I want to put that on or not, just because I do a lot of my own finishes and a straight line is a bugger to get framed just right. And I like it without that, so I may skip that. I saw somebody else that skipped it recently and I thought it looked really nice that way too. So that is Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. And then I've been working on a dimensions kit. I have several of them that I've started, and this one's called Winter Farm, I believe. Yeah, Winter Farm. And I really have enjoyed working on this one too, but I squirreled. I ran into so many other ones that I loved. This one's completely still available. And I got so far and then I just stopped. And I'm like, no, you gotta pick that back up again. It's also 2 threads over, it's on Ada, so it's 2 threads over 1 square. And I don't love stitching that way anymore. I like my 40 count with 1/2. But it's still pretty, and I'm making a really concerted effort to make sure my stitches look nice. So what I worked on a ton this last time was a lot of this snow, like over in this area, and a lot of the snow is actually done with 3 strands. Dimension kits are really famous for doing something like that, and it does give it almost like a little bit of like a texture to it, if you want to call it a texture. But it's going to be so pretty when I'm done. I just got to keep pushing through. And I would say I'm probably farther than halfway on this one. So I do really like this one, and I would like to see it finished at some point. I have the perfect place for it. And then the last one that I started this month was called Swan Sampler by the Wishing Thorn. And it looks like this. You know what, I think I'll take that out of the plastic for you guys. You can see it a little bit better. And the picture that I bought this pattern off of the Stash site, and it was kind of laying like at an angle like this, and you couldn't see it real clearly, but I loved the love, grace, faith, and hope words in the middle. But it looked like it was really dark. Like it looked like it was done almost in grays. Let me see if I hear it. This is the picture that I could see. And it's just, it looks darker to me. So without thinking, I contacted Vicki Clayton and asked her if she would do a thread conversion for me so I could do it in silks. And she did. And then I realized that the colors are way lighter than I thought. I don't know if I like them. So I started it, but just barely started it. These are the colors that were called for. And I really thought that it was more in the grays and the navies and in kind of the darker colors. So I'm not sure what I'm going to leave and what I'm going to take back out there. This also calls for beads. Had no idea it called for beads. I do not want to stitch it on, let me see if I can get my patterns back together here. I don't want to stitch it on a 32 count. So I'm going to go ahead with 40, and instead of putting beads in, I decided I was going to do some petite treasure braids, but I chose a bunch. When I was at Welcome Stitchery, I could just see all of them, and I thought, well, I'm going to pick up a bunch of different grays, blues, kind of a multicolor, and see if I can find something that I like. And then these were the flosses that Vicki sent me, but I actually have added a bunch to them as well. I'm trying still to decide what I want to change, what I want to keep. And so I think it's going to be a little bit more, not green so much, I think it's going to be more toward the purples and the grays. I think is what I'm going to head for a little bit more. So I have some decisions to make on that one. And so that one stalled out too just a little bit, but it never matters if I stall out for a little bit because I have so many other things I can hop to and go to instead. So that is what I've been stitching on. You'd think it'd be more, right? But I did have a couple of stops, starts, and finishes. So Joy was a start and a finish, and so was my Year of Celebrations, my little April for the month. And I'm wondering if I did the Sheep Virtues in between there. I might have. There was also a weekend where I went up to Stitchery Nook in Osage and stitched there with my friends for a weekend, which is always so much fun. I just love going there. It's my favorite. She has like a little retreat center above her shop, and it's just so comfortable. Her tables and her chairs they're so roomy. And there's just nothing better than stitching with your friends. I love it so much. So anyway, did that with them and picked up stuff. So the next thing on the list, I think here is going to be haul. Or should I do my plans? Let's do haul. And that's going to be a little bit extensive. So let me reset. I did forget to show you, this is part of my haul, but I got this amazing bag. It's got swans on it, if you guys can't see that. This is from Vintage Owl Lady. She sells on Instagram. It came with this adorable swan charm. And I just think it's beautiful. So of course, my swan sampler is in that bag. So I wanted to quickly show you that before I stacked up all this stuff and put it away. Okay, I think what we're gonna start with, please don't judge me. I do love you all. Please don't judge me. Flosstube really got me. I really wasn't going to buy anything because I have so many patterns that I already love that I just don't even have kitted up or started yet. But there were just so many great ones again, and I'm weak. So the first one that I got is, of course, Tiny Town Nativity. And I can't find my spring one. I've stitched the spring one. I wanted to show that to you guys in my finishes, because I have it on a scissors B-scap, I think they call it. finished. It's on there. And I've got my Thanksgiving one on there yet, but I can't find my summer spring one. So I'm going to keep looking, but I have the Valentine. I really want to get Valentine done so I can put that one out with my Valentine decor, and I really want to do this one for Christmas. I love that. Couldn't resist. And then The Earth Laughs by Brenda Gervais. I might have to take these out of the bags, which is a good idea to do anyway. Here we go. You guys have probably seen a bunch of these. Here's The Earth Laughs. And then I got also from Brenda Gervais the Daily Reminder one. Sorry for the crinkles and the noise, guys. Is the daily reminder to be good and do good. And I might change the words on that. I might change it to be still and know that I am God. But I am going to try have this fabric coming, that dark soil I think it's called, or something like that. I think I am going to try to change those words because I do love everything else about it. I think it's really, really pretty. Then I purchased off of Etsy by Sub Rosa. I loved this Valentine heart, but you know what? So I'll tell you a little bit about my February. I didn't really want to get into a lot of detail, but February is a rough month for me. It's the month that my husband passed away, and so it's always full of lots of emotions. And I can have some really down times, up times too, because the really weird thing is my husband passed away on my daughter's birthday. And so as more time goes by, we're figuring out what to do with that, trying to have that day be a joy-filled day, full of memories, and celebrate my daughter. But I also spent the whole month sick. I ended up getting COVID again. It was like the 4th time I think that I've had COVID. I'm so sick of that word. And also got influenza A, kind of almost back to back. Like I think I had 1 week in between where I was healthy and then I had COVID, or then I had influenza A. So I never even got my Valentine stuff decorations put out this year. I just jumped right into Easter because I really didn't feel very good most of that month. So anyway, and that's also why I haven't been here. So this is another one I got, which is called Sentimental Sampler. I think I just saw this one also, and I thought it was kind of pretty with the flowers at the bottom. It would make a really pretty spring stitch. I'll kind of try to keep moving through these. When I was at Welcome Stitchery, they had these, Faith, Hope, and Love, stitched all in a row. And she didn't have the love pattern. And I said, that's okay, I'm not gonna stitch it right away anyway, but it was stunning. She had left 2 stitches between each pattern and had stitched them right in a row in the same colors. And oh, it was so pretty. It was so pretty. I forgot to take a picture of it. So anyway, I picked up Hope, and I'm gonna be getting Love as well somewhere down the line. Then this one really is maybe my biggest regret, but when I saw it, it's by Fox and Rabbit. It's Fanny Collins, 1853. I was kind of taken by the dog and the bunny on the bottom, the detail, and they're not just like stick shapes like so many of them are. The birds are beautiful. I just thought it was really kind of a cool sampler. So I picked that one up. I got her Brenda Gervais Spring Trio with the bunny and the tulip and the bird. Those would be really pretty for spring. And this one, I didn't have it in my original order. I went back and got it. A French Rose by Marie Vallet. Is that how you say her name? And Color and Cotton just came out with a new pink called Posies. I think I might have to get that. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. I did another sampler in Red Pear. I think it's by Weeks. And it was really variegated and very pretty also, so I could do it in that too. But oh, I thought that was so pretty. And of course, Fox and Rabbit came out with a pink house. And you know I'm not going to be skipping a pink house. So I had to pick that one up. I thought this was beautiful too, Peace on Earth. It's a Quaker style, Christmas Quaker, but with lots of beautiful colors in it. I just thought it was unusual for a Christmas stitch. but so pretty. Then by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, I got Honeybee Sampler. Oh, I really like that one too for some reason. I don't know what I'm going to stitch it in yet, but I thought that was really pretty. By Teresa Kogut, I got her Humble Cottage. I don't know if you can see the words on there or not. And I was watching Kathy Haberman and Beth, I can't think of who her other friend is. Does it say it on here? Let me look. Yes, Beth Seal of Summer House Stitchworks. They've done 4 collabs now where they have put a book together, one for each season. And this is the winter one. And their video, just like I said, Flosstube killed me. She started showing all the different things in here. And the colors are so pretty. I love that green and blue together anyway. And I know it's really more wintry, but oh, I just thought that this was so pretty. So I had to get that one. I also got New Beginnings. And I think I got this one because of the words, Hope Lies in New Beginnings, which is my phase of life. It's my season of life. And it has kind of a pink look to it. So I thought that was really pretty. I got Blackbird Designs Gifts of the Season. I resisted the second one, but I did get Gifts of the Season. And then I also picked up, before Market, I picked up by Asbury Echoes, Just This Christmas Blessings. Oh, there, maybe you can see it there. I liked that one. And then I did something absolutely insane. I saw 123 Stitch a while back did a video on the Virginia, a Cumberland County inspiration. Hearts Case Exemplar Works. And this picture doesn't do it justice. I'll try to maybe snap a picture of her finished one. But it's a crazy, insane sampler. It's enormous. What is the stitch count? 441 by 535. But it's so pretty. And it's got specialty stitches in it. And the gal that did it on 123 Stitch was wanting to kind of prove a point that you can intermix DMC, silks, and that you can do those things on Ada, I think, if I'm not mistaken. She was just trying to show that that some of these that look like they're so complex and they have specialty stitches that they can still be done on Ada and that they can be done in any, and you can mix and match. You don't have to have everything all silk. You don't have to have everything just all DMC. You can kind of choose what you want to do. So I'm going to put a link into that video, but then I'm also going to try to take a snapshot of the picture of hers when it was done. And then when I was at Stitchery Nook, I had picked up Teresa Kogut's Land That I Love. And I haven't been tackling any new patriotic bigger stitches just yet because I am working on One Nation by Bygone Stitches, and I'm close. I think I'm going to be done with that this year. As a matter of fact, that's going to be coming out pretty soon, and I want to start working on that. And once I'm done with that, then I'll feel comfortable into moving into another patriotic stitch. I did get the floss there too. It called for overdyed floss. So I picked that up as well. So I think that might be one of my next stitches. I think I have, it was at that time called Confederate Gray. I think I have the fabric for that too. We'll talk about that too in a minute, my fabric. And then the last thing I picked up was this one. And it's called Newcastle Bouquet. And you guys, I saw it being stitched on while I was at Stitchery Nook, and I cannot think of the gal's name. She's only been there one time, but she had like 3/4 of it done, and my jaw dropped. It was so stunningly beautiful. But this is also another big one. It's 353 by 217. So that's another pretty good sized one. And then the last thing I'll show you for charts is I was watching Hobbies of Holly, and she had mentioned a couple of different books that she had picked up. There have been a few times where I've had to change the letters in something or the numbers, and there's been no chart to go along with it. Case in point is my Dasher and Dancer. I need to still add the date, and I need to add my initials to it yet, but I haven't landed on anything I liked yet. So that's still kind of sitting there needing to be done. And she was talking about this book by Jean Farish called Alphabet Workshop. And it has just a ton of different sized script, straight, block, cursive styles of alphabets. And so I thought that is going to be really helpful down the road as I'm going through samplers, which I seem to be kind of leaning toward a lot lately, and changing them and putting my initials or personalizing them, even Anniversaries of the Heart, wanting to put family members' initials or names, that kind of thing in there. So I picked that up. So thank you, Holly. I always want to say your channel backwards. I want to say Hollies of Hobby. And then I catch myself like, no, that's wrong. That's backwards. So thank you, Holly. She had one more book that she had recommended as well, which is in my cart. I haven't bought it yet, but it's in my cart. So I appreciate your channel so much and the information that you shared. And then, I don't know if I'm supposed to show this yet. I belong to Roxy Floss Co.'s Floss of the Month and Fabric. It's every other month that the fabric comes. The Floss of the Month, you can get either original ones that they don't necessarily remake, or you could get just some that are in their rotation. And I chose to get the ones that were in their rotation. It's been so long since I've seen you guys. I've gotten 2 packets of those. And I think there's 10 or 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 in each package. And so I'm just slowly picking those up. And I've also received a couple of her fabrics. They always come in these really cool bags. So the first one I got in January was called Cove. And it's this beautiful, kind of a light, it's got a greenish cast to it, but it's such a pretty color. A very perfect neutral. And me loving green, it's great in my house. I have to keep those in the bag because there's no other markings on the fabric, and I've been known to remove that and then not knowing what I have anymore. The second one is called Powder Puff, and it's just a very light pink, and that's going to go beautifully in my bedroom. I'm sure that this is blowing it out, that you guys aren't getting a true color, but it's a really light Powder Puff pink. So that's really, really fun. And I think there were choices in that class or club as well, like neutrals or others as well. So those were 2 of the fabrics. I got so much fabric, you guys. But the reason I wanted to show that to you was in this latest package, we got the coolest thing. It included a chart from, let's see, I want to get her name right on here. It's Maximum Cross Stitch, and she talks about her often. It's her good friend, and I'm just looking for her name on here. No, her name isn't on here, but she sent a pattern, you guys. She gave us all a pattern for free with it. Oh, I hope it's okay that I show it, but isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. The colors. Oh, so pretty. So that was just an unexpected and a wonderful surprise. Okay, let's go through fabric, guys. So when I was at Stitchery Nook before market, I bought Fat Half of Saltbush, which is such a pretty color. It's a grayish. I like my grayish. This is all, I think all of this is 40 count, you guys. And so I'm going to have to learn how to refold my fabric because I was watching Jordan, the tattooed stitcher. She did a tour of her craft room and she showed her organization for her fabric. And I just went, I must have. So I have a cabinet over here and I'll probably try to take a picture of it or a video or something that I'll insert somewhere in here. And I bought containers that fit 3 across, and I've got 3 drawers, and that's where my fabric is going to go because my fabric is just a hot mess right now. But it has to be folded just exactly right in order for it to fit in there. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be putting all of my fabric in there, and I'm going to try to do it by designer and then by color. So we'll see how that goes. I also picked up a couple pieces of this because of something I saw Roberta do on Sable Stitchers. It was just a little tiny, I think it had pumpkins in it. And I ran across the chart the other day and then I'm like, where did that fabric go? So I had to go digging and sure enough, it was in my bin to show you guys because it's been so long. I just kept throwing stuff in my bin. So anyway, I thought this was really sweet. I thought it would make just a wonderful little giveaway too. Like if I go to a retreat. So I got an extra piece so I could have one too. I don't even know what that stuff is called, to be honest. And then this one is from Market. This is by Be Stitch Me, and it's called Oat, and it's gorgeous. I don't always love all her modeling that she does, but this one just has a minimal. Oh, I think it's so pretty. I think it's so, so pretty. So I may go ahead and get more of that at some point down the road. I also picked up, and I have really struggled saying this, Arboreal. You just ask the girls sometimes at how I've stumbled over saying that. But look at that green. I'm not a color person, but I do like my green. Oh my goodness, the color in that is just stunning. So, so pretty. Then Stitchery Nook had a ton of Cedar River linen. She was able to get Cedar River linens this time. And so I picked up some Spindrift, which is just a beautiful light tan. So many things will work well on that. And did I need any of these? Nope. Shame, shame. Okay, and then I also picked up, this is Leanne's fault from Loose Thread Stitchers. I was done buying, and then we got together for our chat on Saturday night, and she said, well, I went there and I bought pyrite. And I went, oh, Liz didn't show me pyrite. So I had to go back and look, and I got pyrite. And it's kind of a yellowish tan, a golden, more of a golden color. Oh, but it's so pretty. So, so pretty. That's by Cedar River. And then I also picked up by Manny Di Donna. I really kind of went outside of my box and I got a lot of different types of fabrics. This one's by Manny Di Donna and it's called Fog Gray. It's got a really brown, it's got much more of a brown base than a gray base, but a little bit of the gray in there too. And then when I was at Welcome Stitchery, she had linens laying out. And I had my friend Mary Beth with me and we would go, well, I'll share that with you. You want to cut it? And Justine was so gracious and she's like, sure, I'll cut that for you guys. So we got this Mason linen. It's called Haberdashery in dark. I've never tried Mason linens before. That's really not, oh, that's really not showing. This is, how can I show you guys up better? Maybe way down here. Maybe if I put a shadow on it. It's much darker. If I put a shadow on it, that's what it really looks like more. So I'm excited to try that. It has a different feel to it. It's kind of slippery. I hope it's not smaller than 40 count. It could be, you know how when you dye them and they shrink? Yeah, it could end up being smaller. And then I also have used this fabric before by XG Design. This is brown paper. And I've always liked that one. Let's see. There. If I tip it down a little bit, it gives you a better color. So that's a beautiful brown. And the last one I've used before too. Now this one looks quite a bit different than what I've done in the past. This is Dirt Track by Fox and Rabbit, and this one has a purplish cast to it and a lot of modeling. So I'm going to have to find just the right thing for that one. Let's see if I can. There, that's a little better. Get that sun off of it a little. So that one's, I'm going to have to think hard on what to use that one for. I have a lot of fabrics like that in my stash where I don't quite know what I'm going to do with them. And I might end up de-stashing at some point because if I've had them more than a year or two and I haven't used them, I think then maybe it's time to share them with somebody else. One other thing I did pick up, and I've got it in a bag already because I want to stitch it, is Oh Holy Night. Is that what it's called? Holy Night it's called, by Shepherd's Bush. And it's hard to kind of see, but it's like the Nativity. And Mary, who works at Stitchery Nook, had done it. And she had done it on cork. And I thought, oh, that's always kind of fun to try something new. And she happened to have a piece of the fabric left that she had stitched it on. And so I thought, well, I'm going to get that. And I'm going to give that a try. And then they also had the button packs that go with it. So I picked up the button pack, too. That goes with that one. Shepherd's Bush is kind of notorious for doing that, for putting button packs in there, in their stitches, in their patterns. So that one is in my plans. I don't know if I'll start that one right away though, because it is a Christmas stitch and I'm getting the itch to do patriotic. So I don't know when I'm going to actually get to that. Okay, then in my plans, while I was at Welcome Stitchery, she plays games with everybody. And I won bingo. I don't ever win anything, ever. But I won bingo, and I won this beautiful Swan biscornu. And also the fabric and the linen that goes with it. But one of the gals that I sat by, I'm trying to remember their names. There was a Chris, and there was, I think, a Kathy. And she'd stitched it, and she said it's really big. So I started looking at it, and I actually already had this pattern. And so I passed the pattern along to my friend Mary Beth. And we both decided, let's be brave. Let's be really brave. And we went and got some 46 count in gray, or Confederate gray, they've renamed it. And we're gonna try it on that. We're going to see if we can figure out how to do 46 count. I've got a couple of things that I've done on 46 count, and they're a challenge for me, so we'll see how this goes. So that one is in my plans just because I'm going to probably do it with my friend. We'll probably stitch that one together at some point. But we have other plans going too, and I'll talk about that more next time because I'm still waiting for some stuff to come. But anyway, that one is in my plans. But my immediate plans are going to be kind of continuing on with what I've been doing. So I want to do some more of the year celebrations. I need to do, let me get my pattern out. I've got April done, and I'm so excited to have April done. But I haven't done May. I haven't done June. I haven't done July. I've done August, which is completely finished. I've stitched September, but it's not finished. Then I haven't done October. I haven't done November. I haven't done December. I've done January, but it's not finished. And I haven't done February. And I have done March, and it's not finished. So I need to just keep plugging away on this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try to stitch May. Try to stay one step ahead of the game. And it's so tiny. But here by my finger is May. And it looks like it's all bee houses, like all bees in there. And then I'll jump over to June with little bird houses. And then July is corn. I've done August. I've done September. I actually stitched October, but I goofed. I have to redo that one. And then I've got those 3 to do yet. So I have a little work to do on that one. So that's definitely going to stay in the rotation. So are my sheep virtues. They're going to stay in the rotation as well. A friend of mine said, okay, I see love and hope. She's like, where's joy? And there's a joyful. There's not a joy. There's a joyful. So I'm going to have to probably do that one next. Okay, what's in here? Oh, yes. So, while I was at Stitchery Nook, I also bought this American Gardens. Just very taken with it, with all the houses and all the different flowers and stuff. And I decided to do that one with Vicki Clayton Silks, so I had her do a conversion for me. And I found some really pretty Weeks Dye Works linen, it's called. It's just kind of got a nice light tan color to it. Let's see if I can get it there. It's just really pretty. So I'm kind of excited to get that one started too. So those are just some potentials coming up of things that are on my mind. Those are the ones that are actually kitted, but then I've got a bunch that aren't kitted that I was looking through my patterns, and I bought, last year I bought the Grand Old Flag by Brenda Gervais, and I've seen a couple people do this last one recently, which is really pretty. I would love to do a few more dough bowls. This one I think is so pretty. This one's by Heartstring Samplery. I think that one is so pretty too. A basket of flowers with a flag. And this one by Scarlet House. Just some really lovely patriotic smalls. And I have one spring one that I didn't get to that I saw on Log Cabin Stitcher. I'm trying to think of what her first name is. Bonnie? I could be wrong on that, but I'll try to find her. But she had stitched this one, and it doesn't look like much, but she had done that red breast with variegated, and it was so cool. It just was, it turned out so, so pretty. And I have a good place where this could go. So, yeah, I had to grab that one too, even though spring is kind of here. And this one is probably the hottest on my list. I really want to put these two together, Stars and Stripes. And they've been out for a couple of years already too. They're by 2 different places, Plum Street Sampler, and I think this is Kitten Stitcher. Shakespeare's Peddler, yeah. She does the ampersand and then this other stripes one. So I really want those in a pillow form. Again, product stitcher, yes, yes. I want them done and I want them on my wall right now. That's not how it works, because I have so many other lovely things that are in the works too that I want done. And I think that's why I don't maybe have quite so many things to show you, because I've been devoting a week or 2 or longer to some of my stitches. I really hammered down on Winter Rose Manor in order to get that one finished. I probably spent 3 weeks on that. And some of those they're not really close to the finish line, but I'm getting antsy and I want to start seeing them done, and I want to be able to finish them and get them hung up and displayed. So it is what it is, right? And it's also part of my hobby. I like to collect the patterns, and like Nicole Spore says, you're creating a library. I'm making a library of patterns. My friend had done this one, which is called Though He Seemeth Sleeping. And it's not anything spectacular here, but when she had hers done, it was so pretty. And Jo Kramer had done it first and had shared her color conversion with Mary Beth. And Jo has a blog called Country Junction, Jo's Country Junction. And she goes through all the details on her blog of her colored selections. And so I will be, when I kit this up, I will be using their color conversion on it. So I haven't kitted that one up yet. And I bought this one last year already when I was at Stitchery Nook. That's kind of a dangerous place for me to go. I'm going 4 times this year. Nothing, not gonna say anymore. And this I thought was so pretty, Mistletoe Manor Sampler and Smalls. And I thought that was just stinking cute. Yes, yes, I still love it. So that one is on my list, my short list. Okay. What else do I have to talk about? I'm going to insert a couple of, I'm going to do them in 2 different sections, a video on my scroll rods and how I use them. I did one already, I've got it completed, I just have to insert it on the American Dream scroll rods, which use like a basting stitch on it. And I'm going to do one on the Arabesca. I've had several people ask me about the Arabesca. This is the Arabesca scroll rods. And so they go on with these clamps, which are super easy to take on and off, but I still prefer to leave them on. But basically the clamps, they have an arrow that tells you which way to pull them off, and they just slide off, and they've got like a little ridge, and that slides into a ridge here. And so you just clamp them back on. And so if you're crooked or if it's not tight enough, and then I do tend to use with this, I use side tension because I do kind of like my stitches to be tight. And I think when you have that many different clamps on it, it's hard sometimes to get it really snug the way I like it. So like I will pull as hard as I can. And then I'll also put some magnets on the sides here to just kind of pull the tension in. And that's how I tend to stitch. I like mine to be pretty tight. So maybe by doing this, I won't have to do a video. But basically you have these knobs that go on. You buy different size kits, and the kits come with different length spreader bars and different length rods. And I think it comes in a small and a large, and I think there's a custom size. And I've bought them all. I tend to like the small the best, but when I'm doing a bigger sampler, I need the large because I need it to be the largest, and the widest that they go is 22 inches. So if you need something to be longer than that, you have to jump to the American Dream with either the basting stitch or with the Velcro tape that you can add. And I have used both, and they both work fine. But I've just really grown to love, first of all, I've had multiple shots in my hand. I have already lost function in my right hand. I can't get my thumb up anymore because of arthritis. And this hand has been starting to really hurt as well. So we've been doing steroid shots, and the steroid shots work, but they only hold for 2, maybe 3 months for me. And I turn this lovely shade of red every time I do them. I'm Finley, no, she's bouncing it around, you guys. I'm sorry. She decided she had to lay here by it. And so I'm trying a new process called PRP. I don't know what it actually stands for, but basically they draw your blood and they spin it down, and they take out all the good qualities in your blood so that it's like an amber color. Sorry, she's down now. And then they inject that serum directly into the site that is giving you trouble, and they've seen good results with it as far as promoting healing. So I've had it done once, and it hurts a little bit. Hurts a little bit. And so I'm not looking forward to doing it again, but it lasted about 2 months, and I started having trouble with it again. So they gave me a little booster, a little steroid booster, and they scheduled me 8 weeks out to do another injection of the PRP. But they said it could last longer than, she said that steroid with the PRP could actually last you a lot longer than just 2 months. So I could possibly cancel, which I would love to. But I'm really hoping, I'm gonna probably try it up to 3 times. I think if it doesn't work after 3 times, it's not going to for me. There's a possibility I might be looking at hand surgery down the road. I guess they can do like a little tiny replacement part in your hand. So I may be looking at that down the road. Nothing sounds fun. But anyway, this one I have to do something to because I don't have pain anymore. And he said it's because you've lost mobility. So I need to do something with this one too, because I really would like to get that hand back again. And I just can't get that thumb back up anymore. So that's been another issue with my stitching. I can only stitch for so long before my hand starts to cramp a little bit and I have to take a break. So long story short, that was kind of why it's been so long since I've been here. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking. The last thing I have to do is to do my giveaway. Oh, you know what? There's one more thing, though, that I wanted to talk about. Where'd it go? I'm going to pause a minute while I kind of regroup. Okay, I found it. I had some wonderful Stitchy kindness. I had one of my viewers contact me and ask me if she could send me some stuff, and I was like, I feel guilty when people want to send me stuff, but I love sharing it with you guys, and so I said, absolutely, I would love it. So she sent me, you guys, this enormous package. Look at all of these, this enormous package of all these charts, and so I do want to share these with you guys. So, her name was Renee, and I've talked to her a couple of different times, but I'm not quite sure how to group them yet because she gave me like a whole year's worth of Stitching with the Housewives. Let's go ride a bike. I think she gave me the whole year of that. And then there's a bunch of Silver Creek samplers, Waxing Moon Trio. Oh, you guys, let me just go through them. So she gave me a Prairie Schooler card, and I do collect these. And so that was a treat. She sent me 2 of those. And I didn't have either one of these, so I'm so excited to be able to add those to my collection. She sent me Autumn Quilt by Primrose Cottage. She sent me this Waxing Moon Designs Turkey Trio. And I really love those. She sent me, I don't know where this is from, Tellum Emblem. Oh, but it's so pretty. It's just like a little mini sampler. Isn't that cute? I've never heard of that company before. That's super cute. And then Silver Creek samplers, she sent, what's this one called? I don't know what it's called. Hope of the Heart, with a great big snowman. And this one is called Skating Lessons by Silver Creek Sampler. And then, yes, I think I'll go through the other ones and we'll leave that one for last. She gave me Bent Creek Moonlight Berry Sampler. And Bent Creek Look for the Beauty. I really like Bent Creek. I always have. This one is by Manny D. Donna, Thankful, Grateful, Blessed. I wonder if I could just pull the blessed out of that one. Then she did Hands-on Designs, Let's Talk Summer. And Let's Talk Autumn. And then she gave me Heart and Hands, Perfect Snowman. And Baby It's Cold Outside by Shannon Christine. And then by Primrose Cottage, Just Gather. And then another Shannon Christine called Christmas Barn. Look at this, you guys. This is just ridiculous what she sent me. And this one I might have to keep. This one's called Mary Noel Collection, but it's all sheep. And since I'm doing the sheep virtues, I'm thinking I might have to keep that one and try and do those. And then I got all of these Let's Go Ride a Bike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, a whole year's worth of Let's Go Ride a Bike by Stitching with the Housewives. And so I'm not sure how I should give those away. I feel like they should go all as one. I know that I won't probably stitch those either. Some of them she's even got like DMC in. Only one, but she's got some DMC in the back of one of them. So let me know, you guys, what you think I should do for a giveaway on that. If I should split them all up or if I should just do one big giveaway with all of them. I really feel like they should all travel together. Travel with a friend. So, Renee, so unnecessary, but bless your heart, girl. that is just so special. I can't tell you how much that means to me. So I'm excited to share those with you guys. And then I think the last thing I have to do, other than my blessing moment, is to do my giveaway. And I haven't pulled a winner yet, so I'm gonna have to pause a minute while I grab a winner. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, finally, for my last thing of the day is my giveaway. This was my dragonfly bag that I made, and it has the extra pocket inside here so that you can put your floss and everything in here, and you can put your pattern behind here so it doesn't get stuck. I was gonna like mass produce these. Yep, another one of my brilliant plans. Just not enough hours in my day, and I'd much rather stitch. So anyway, the winner of this is, I have to read it. It's at Kathryn, REARICK 3186. Kathryn Rierick, I think is maybe how you say it. So Kathryn, if that is you, congratulations. And I would really love it if you would just send me your email address, not your email, send me your address by my email, which will be listed in the notes. You have to be over 18 because I do need to request your address. I think I said this in my other video. So just make sure that you meet the requirements, but I would love to send that out to you. So the sooner you send me your info, the quicker I'll get it. So I did have some trouble with my last one. We just didn't connect, and I did end up sending her a different bag because I had offered this one again, and she had been trying to send it to me. So if you can't reach me by email, if you're not getting a reply back from me, because I will reply and let you know I got your email, try to get me on Instagram and send me a message on Instagram, and that's b.a.blessingstitcher on Instagram as well. So that might be the best way to reach me. Then the only other thing I wanted to just chat about is a blessing moment, and I thought this time around, and I don't know if I'll do this every time, but I thought it would be nice just to pull a scripture verse, something that I'm holding on to lately, and the one that's been on my mind is from Psalm 46 verse 10, and it's, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." That one, and then another one that really stood out for me is Exodus 14:4, which is, "The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent." It would be good for you to go read the entire chapter that goes with those. I don't like to just pull individual verses out and then try to give any kind of a meaning to them, but both of those verses have been helpful to me in my journey and in my grief journey, I guess you want to call it. Just knowing that he's always on our side, and that sometimes when you don't have the strength to fight, that he'll do it for you. So yeah, I just really like to hold on to those, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed my video today, and I hope that you all have some wonderful stitching time coming up, whether it's by yourself or whether it's with some friends. Like I said before, I just think there's nothing better than stitching with friends, but I'm also very much a solitary creature. And as a matter of fact, somebody recognized me at Welcome Stitchery, and I didn't know what to do with it. I just like wanted to curl up inside a little shell and go. So I'm gonna have to work on that. I didn't talk to her or anything. I was so embarrassed. I just didn't know what to do with it, so I wasn't prepared for anybody to really recognize me. I feel like my channel is just itty bitty and tiny, so I apologize if I do come across a little bit weird. It's just because I'm kind of shy, and when I meet new people, I have to almost like prepare my head for it, and I wasn't ready that day. So anyway, I wish you all the best. Sending love and hugs to all of you guys, and I hopefully will see you again soon. I don't know how quickly it will be. Hopefully in a month. That's kind of what I've been trying for before. I know it got out of control this time, but hopefully I'll be back in a month. So you guys take care, and spend a lot of time stitching and enjoying this wonderful hobby that God's given us. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.